asked in UPSC Civil Services CSAT exam 2011. Right. In a group of persons, 70% of the persons are male. So how many persons are male? 70%. 30% of the persons are married. Okay. So suppose, let's assume total person is 100. I told you that whenever we are doing questions from percentage, we normally assume what we assume in a multiple of 100. The calculation is easy, that's why only. Okay. So the 100%, there are 100 people. Okay. So out of these 100, how many males are there? It is given. Males are given 70%. If 70% are male, then the remaining will be female. So the remaining is 30%. So the 30% are female. Okay. It is in percentage. So the figure will be 70% of 100. So it will come out 70. And it will be 30% of 100. So it will come out 30. Right. So there are 70 male and 30 female. Okay. Now, if 2/7 of the male, the 2/7 of this, 2/7 of male, kitna hua 2/7 of male? 7 will divide this 10, 20. So 2/7 of male are married. So these are married male. Okay. These are married. 20. Similarly, are married. What fraction of the female is single? So 30% of the persons are married. One more figure is given that 30%, how many married person are, how much? Married people are 30% of total we assume 100. So there are 30 married people. Okay. So 20 married are male. So the remaining married will be 10 and they will be female. If 10 female are married, so how many single females are there? The single female are 30 minus 10. It will be 20. They are single, they are married, right? So now the question is asking the fraction of the female is single. So the fraction will be, how many female are single? 20. And what is the total number of female? Total number of female is 30. This 0 will cut this 0. So the ratio is 2/3. So this is our answer. Right. So I hope ये सबको समझ आ गया होगा. This was easy question. Okay. If you still have some problem, you can comment or you can call us or you can WhatsApp us. And personally, this is the percentage question asked in UPSC CSAT 2011. So this question is asked in UPSC Civil Services exams paper CSAT in 2011. So the question is, there are 100 students. How many students are given? 100. In a particular class, 60% student play cricket, 30% student play football and 10% student play both the games. Right. What is the number of students who play neither cricket nor football? So we will solve it through Venn diagram method. That's the easiest method, right? So suppose this is a circle representing the student who are playing cricket and this is a circle representing the student who are playing football. And this section will show who are playing both cricket and football, right? So there may be candidate who are not playing any games, right? So through Venn diagram, we know that this rectangular will represent 100%, right? So they have given like there are 100 students. So we can write here not 100%, we will write 100. So how many students are playing cricket? 60%. So 60% of 100 will be 60 only. Okay. And how many students are playing football? 30%. So it will be 30% of 100 will be 30. Right. And 10% students play both. So this shaded area will be 10% of 100, so it will be 10, right? So I'm writing it A, B or C. Now A plus B will be 60 because it is representing the total number of student playing cricket, right? A plus B is representing what? This circle is representing what? The total number of student playing cricket. So we know B is 10, so A will be 50, right? So we can write 50. And similarly B plus C is representing number of student playing football, so that is given 30. We know what is B is 10. 10 plus C is equal to 30, so C will be 20, right? So now the number of students who are playing either cricket or football, right? So A plus B plus C. So how many students are playing either cricket or football, or they are playing both games? So total number of students participating in games will be 50 plus, we have to add this 50 plus 10 plus 20, right? So it will be total 80. So 80 students are playing games. So how many students who are not playing any games? Total number of students are 100. So we can minus 80 from 100, right? So it will come 20. So there are 20 students who are not playing any games. So the answer will be option B, right? I hope ये सबको समझ आ गया होगा. So this is the percentage question asked in UPSC CSAT 2014 exam, right? So a gardener increased the area of his rectangular garden by increasing its length by 40% and decreasing its width by 20%. The area of the new garden. So the gardener has rectangular garden, right? So this is rectangular garden he is having, right? Suppose length is L and breadth is B. So what is the area? We know that area of a garden will be L into B. Now what the gardener did, he increased its length by 40%. So the new length will be L plus 40% of L. So this will come out 140 L upon 100. This 0 will cut this 0. This is 7 by 5. 7 by 5 L. And what's the new breadth will be? Decreasing by 20%. So B minus 20% of B. So this will come out 80B upon 100. This 0 will cancel this 0. This will, we can cancel it, right? So this will be 4 by 5B, right? So now the new area will be new length into new breadth. So new length is 7 by 5 L into 4 by 5B. So this will be 28 upon 25B, right? So what is asking? He is asking the area of the new garden, that it could increase or decrease. So we have to find the percentage change. So we know the formula of percentage change is new value minus old value upon old value into 100. So this is the percentage change, right, of anything. So we will just put the values in this formula. So it will be 28 upon 25 LB minus old value is LB. Okay. And here will be the LB. This LB, we can take common. And it will cancel this, right? When we will solve this, it will come out 28 minus 25 upon 25 into 100. This 25 will cut this 4 times and there will be 3. So it will be 3 into 4 is equal to 12%. Because this is in plus, this is not in minus. So the area will increase, right? Because we are getting positive value. If we are getting negative value, then the change will be like decreasing. Okay. So the answer will be option B, increase by 12%. Okay. I hope ये सबको समझ में आया होगा. बहुत बेसिक से बताया है. Right. We have not used any trick, any formula here. If still you have some problem, you can ask us. Okay. Through comment. Okay. Or through WhatsApp or through phone call. This is the question of percentage asked in UPSC CSAT 2014 paper. Right. So A and B decide to travel from place X to place Y by bus. This place X and this is place Y. So the route can be anything, right? Okay. So the A wants to travel from here to there, right? From X to Y. A has rupees 10 with him. So how much money A is having? A is having 10 rupees, right? And he finds that it is 80% of the bus fare for 2%, right? So let's the bus fare for each person is X, right? So now what is given? It is given that A's money is equal to what? 80% of बस फेयर कितना है? ऑफ 2%. जो दो लोगों का फेयर है उसका 80% है. तो दो लोगों का फेयर कितना होगा? एक का x तो दूसरे का भी x. सो ये दो लोगों का हो गया कि नहीं, राइट? सो नाउ वी विल सॉल्व दिस. 0 will cancel this 0 and this will come. We can divide it by 2. So it will come 2 by 5. The 5 will go this side. So this will be 2x. X plus x is equal to 2x is equal to. The 5 will go this side, right? So it will be 50 upon 4, right? So it will be 25 by 2. Now this 2 will also come this side. So it will become 25 by 4. When you will solve this, x will be how much? 6.25 rupees, right? So the fare of bus is 6 rupees 25 paisa, right? B finds that he has rupees 3 with him and hand it over to A. So A was having 10 rupees. Now B is having 3 rupees. So he has given this rupees to A. So now A is having how much money? A is having 13 rupees. And fare of two people is how much? 2 into 6.25, because the fare of one person is 6.25. So it will be equal to 12.5, right? And A is having 13 rupees. So now the money A has is just enough to buy 2 tickets, right? So this is wrong because he has more money than the price of ticket. A still need rupees 2. This is wrong. He has enough money. After buying the 2 tickets, A will be left with 50 paisa. So this is right because he is having 13 rupees and the ticket price is 12 rupee 50 paisa. So the option C is right. So option C is the correct answer. Okay. So what's the option D? Let's see. The money A now has is still not sufficient. This is also wrong. Okay. So what's the correct answer? The correct answer is option C. This was easy question. I hope ये सबको समझ आ गया होगा, right? So this is percentage question asked in UPSC CSAT exam 2015, right? So the question is the candidate in a competitive examination. There is a competitive examination like UPSC, right? Consisted 60% men and 40% women, right? So how many percent men are there? 60% and women are 40%, right? 70% men and 75% women cleared the qualifying test. So let's suppose total number of candidate in exam are 1000. Why I am taking 1000? Just for to make the calculation easy, right? So total candidate are how many? 100, 1000. So 60% are there. So the man will be 600 and the woman will be 400. 75% man and 75% women cleared the qualifying test. So there is a qualifying test, right? Like pre. So how many cleared the UPSC prelims in men? 70%. So it will be the 70% of 600. Right. So it will be, this 0 will cancel this 0. So 420. And 75% women cleared the qualifying test. So 75% of 400. Right. So it will be 300. They cleared the examination and entered the final test. Now there is a final test like mains exam, right? So there is a final test where 80% men out of those who cleared pre, these people will write the mains exam, right? So out of that, how many cleared? 80%. 80% clear the final test, right? This 0 will cancel this 0, this will cancel this 0. So this will come out 336, right? I think I'm doing right calculation. You can check. Okay. And from women, how many women are clearing? 70% women, right? So 70% out of 300. So this will come out to 10 women. So this many women have cleared the exam, right? Now the question is, which of the following statement is correct? Success rate is higher for women. So what will be the success rate? The success rate is success rate of boys, suppose, or men, right? Men and women is given. So let's take men. Will be who pass final test upon total men, right? So this will be the success rate. Okay, so how many men pass? 336 and the total man is 600. So this 0 will cancel this one. So this is the success rate, right? This is the formula of success rate. Success rate is what percent out of total pass the examination, right? So this will come out 56% men. Similarly, we will calculate the success rate of women. It will be how many women pass? 210. What was the total number of women? 400 into 100, right? So this will come out 52.5%, right? So the success rate of men is more than success rate of women. So this option is wrong. Overall success rate will be total candidate pass in the exam. That will be 336 plus 210. And what was the total number of candidate appeared in the exam? 1000 into 100. Right. So it will come out. So it will be, I have less space here, so I am solving it here. Right. It will be, we have to add this, right? 1000 into 100. So these 20 will cancel these 20. So it will be 55.6. 55.6% is what? The total success rate, right? So the overall success rate is below. It's not below. So this is also wrong. So more men cleared the examination than women. How many men cleared? 336, we know from here. And how many women cleared the examination? 210. So the option C is right. Right. So its answer is this one, option C. I hope ये आपको सबको समझ आ गया होगा. If you still have some problem, you can comment us or you can call us or WhatsApp us, whatever you like. And through one-to-one session, I will explain you this thing again. Right. This is a question of percentage asked in UPSC CSAT exam 2015. Right. In a test, a candidate attempted only 8 questions. So the candidate attempted only 8 questions and secured 50% marks in each of the questions. Right. Suppose there are Q number of questions. Okay. And what he attempted only 8 questions out of that. Right. And how much marks he is getting in these 8 questions? He is getting only 50% marks. He is not getting full marks. Okay. In each. So total will be 50 also. Right. So in each questions he is getting 50%. If he obtained a total 40% marks in the test, so his final score, the final score is how much? 40%. 40% of total marks. Right. And all the questions in the test carried equal marks. How many questions were there in the test? So we have to find out the Q. And all questions carry equal marks. Right. So suppose each questions carry 10 marks. You can take anything here. The answer will remain same. You can take 100 also. Right. Or you can take 1 also. So this is given like each questions carry equal marks. So I am taking 10. Right. So there are Q questions. So the total marks will be Q into 10. Right. I hope यहाँ तक कोई issue नहीं है. So it will be 10Q. And how much marks he will get? So he attempted 8 questions. So he attempted for 80 marks. Right. 8 into 10. But he is getting only 50%. So the 50% of 80 will be 40. Right. So he got 40 marks. Now this is given that the candidate marks is 40 is equal to this 40% of total marks. Total marks is we calculated here 10Q. This 0 will cancel this 0, this 0 will cancel this 0, 4 will come this side. So Q is equal to 40 upon 4. So this will cut this. So answer will be 10. So how many number of questions are there in the exam? 10 questions. And he attempted 8 questions. Right. So the answer will be option B. Right. This is an easy question. Right. So I think ये सबको समझ आ गया होगा. अगर still you have some problem, so you can comment and call us and I will explain you personally. Right. This is the question asked in CSAT 2015. Right. This is a percentage question. Right. So a person ordered 5 pair of black socks and some pair of brown socks. So they have not mentioned how many pairs, right? But they mentioned about the black socks. So there are 2 kind of socks, black and brown. Black is how much? Numbers is 5 pair. And brown is not given, right? The price of a black pair was thrice that of brown pair. So suppose the price of brown is K, then it will be 3K, right? Because it is given in the question like the price of a black pair was thrice that of a brown pair. While preparing the bill clerk interchanged the number of black and brown pairs by mistake, right? So suppose the number of brown socks he ordered was N, right? which increased the bill by 100%. What was the number of pair of brown socks in the original order? So the question is simply try to understand कि customer is buying two kind of socks like black and brown. दो टाइप के socks खरीद रहा है, black and brown. Black के numbers दिए हैं 5 pair and the brown number is not given. And the price of black is thrice of brown pair. This is also given, right? But what the color did, the color gave him, this is black and brown, right? So the color gave him n number of black pair and 5 pair of brown, right? So he interchanged. So what he interchanged? Not the price, but the number of black and brown pair, right? By mistake, which increased. इससे क्या हुआ कि bill increased by 100%, right? So we will calculate first the price of this one, right? So this is the initial bill. Initial bill will be how much? Initial bill will be the number of pair socks he is buying, and what's the price? 3K plus NK. And what's the new price? New price will be 3NK. So the now bill will be how much? This is new bill, right? So new bill will be 3NK plus 5K, right? I hope you all got till now, right? Now what happened? What's given in the question that the bill got increased by 100%. So the new bill, so what is given? New bill increased by 100%, right? So we already know that 100% of some number is that number only. If this number is got increased by 200%, if this number got increased by 100%, so it will be 200%, right? Otherwise you can do through unitary method, like the new bill will be initial bill plus 100% of initial bill, because it got increased by 100%. This 100 will cancel this 100. IB plus IB is equal to 2 initial bill. Now put this here. So the new bill is 3NK plus 5K is equal to 2. Initial bill is 15K. 5 into 3 is 15 plus NK. Now from this you can take KK common and you can cut this, right? So it will be 3N plus 5 is equal to 30 plus 2N. 2N will come this side, 5 will go this side. So 3N minus 2N is equal to 30 minus 5. So the N will be 25. So what is N? The number of pair of brown socks. So what he's asking? The number of pair of brown socks. So we got this. This is 25. So what will be the answer? Answer will be option D, right? So I explain you this question in very detailed method. In exam, you can do it very fast also, right? But I want that first of all you understand the concept here so that you can solve any questions. Okay, you can solve it through options also. So there are many ways to solve it. So this is altogether different thing that how you solve it in exam. But here, first of all, we are discussing the concept, right? So you have to focus on the concept here. Okay, I hope you all got this. If there is any issue, you can message us, WhatsApp us, or comment us. Okay. This is the question of percentage asked in UPSC CSAT 2016. Right. So the question is, Anita's mathematics test had 70 problems. So how many problems are there? 17 problems. Right. Carrying equal marks. They have not given the marks, but they are saying that there are 70 problems and each have equal marks. Right. 10 arithmetic, 30 algebra and 30 geometry. Right. So arithmetic problem are 10 and algebra problem are 30 geometry problems are 30. Right. Although she answered 70% of the arithmetic. So we have to take 70% of arithmetic. Arithmetic is how many? 10. So what is the 70% of this? It will be 7 questions. Right. 40% of the algebra. So this is algebra, right? So this is, she solved 30% of 40% of algebra questions. So how many questions? 12 questions. And 60% of the geometry problems. So 60% of total geometry problems are 30. This 0 will cancel this 0. So 18 questions. Right. So she solved 70 questions of arithmetic correctly, 12 questions of algebra, and 18 questions of geometry. Right. But she did not pass the test. But still she didn't pass the test because she got less than 60% marks. Right. So we know like all questions carry equal marks. So let's suppose the marks for each question is 1. So total marks will be, total question is how much? 70. Marks for each question is 1. So it will be 70. You can take even 10 or 100, anything you can take. Right. It won't make any difference. So these are 7 questions. So what will be the marks? 7 into 1 is equal to 7. These are questions, right? And these are, we are calculating marks of Anita. 12 into 1 is equal to 12. 18 into 1 is equal to 18. So total marks of Anita is 7 plus 12 plus 18. Right. So it will come out 37 marks. Right. And the maximum marks or the total marks in the exam is 70. So she didn't get the 60% marks. So the 60% of total marks is 60 upon 100 into 70. This 0 will cancel this 0, this 0 will cancel this 0. So 42. So the 60% marks is 42. But she got 37. Right. So how many marks are less than the 60% marks? 42 marks minus 37 marks is equal to 5 marks. Right. Now he is asking the number of more questions she would have to answer correctly to earn a 60% passing marks. So she have to earn 5 marks more to pass the exam. But the question is asking the more questions she have to solve. So each marks has 1. Each question has, we assumed here like each question has 1 marks. Right. So questions, how many questions she has to solve? Question will be this 5 marks and we have to divide 1 marks. So it will come out same 5 questions. So she have to solve 5 questions more to pass this exam. So the answer will be option B. Right. So if we are considering here 10 or 100, you have to remember like we have to, in the last we have to divide the difference in marks with this one, marks for each question, so that we can get the number of questions are needed to pass the exam. So it will come out 5 questions. Okay, so the answer is D. I hope ये सबको समझ आ गया होगा. If still you have some problem, you can connect with us. Right. Thank you. This is a question of percentage asked in UPSC CSAT 2016. Right. So the question is the total emolument of 2 persons are the same. So if there are 2 persons, X and Y, right? So their salary or emolument is same. Right. So this salary and this salary are same. But one gets allowances to the extent of 65% of his basic pay. Now the salary is include basic pay plus allowances. Right. So here also basic pay of X and allowances of X. Basic pay of Y plus allowances of Y. So the X is getting 65% of his basic pay. So if the basic pay is same, the allowances he is getting 65% of basics, right? And what the other person is getting? Allowances to the extent of 80% of his basic pay. So how much allowances he is getting? He is getting allowances 80% of basic pay, right? This is given. Now the ratio of the basic pay of the former to the basic pay of the latter is. So what the question is asking? The question is asking basic pay and basic pay of Y. So what is the ratio? So the question is asking the ratio of this. So from this we can calculate. So it will be 100 bx plus 65 bx upon 100, and it will be by plus 100 by plus 80 by upon 100. So this 100 will cancel this 100. So this will be 165 bx plus equal 180 by. So now we know the by will come this side and we will take 165 this side, right? So it will become bx upon by is equal to 180 upon 165, right? So from 5 we can cut this. Right. From 3 we can cut this. Okay. So it will become out 12 upon 11, or we can write 12 is to 11. So the answer is option D. Right. So this is easy question, I hope. सबको समझ आ गया होगा. If you still have some problem, you can comment or can call us and we will explain you again, right? This is the question of percentage asked in UPSC CSAT exam 2016, right? So the question is two number X and Y are respectively 20% and 28% less than a third number Z. So there are three number X, Y, Z, right? So this is 20% less from which number? Z, and Y is 28% less from Z, right? And Z have some number, right? So let's assume Z have 100. So the X will be 20% of Z. So is 20% less hai. So you know, I told you like the 100% of some number is X only. If you want to calculate 20% less, so we can take 80% of that number, right? So 20% less of Z. So it will be either you can take directly the 80% of 100. Okay. Or you can calculate it like this. Z is 100 and X is how much? 20% less. So it will be 20% less of 100. So this 100 will quotient this 100. So 100 minus 20 is equal to 80, right? So this will come out 80. Similarly, the Y will come out 72 and this is 100. How we got this 72? 100 minus this is 28% less than Z, right? So this 100 will cancel this 100. So 100 minus 28 is equal to 72. Now the question is asking by what percentage the number Y is less than the number X. So he's asking Y is what percent less than the number X. Okay. So this thing we have to calculate. So X is 80 minus 72 upon 80 into 100. Right. So it will come out 8 upon 80 into 100. This is in percentage, right? This 8 will cancel this 10. This will cancel this 0. So it will 10%. So Y is 10% less than X, right? So the answer will be B. So option B is our correct answer, right? This is the question of percentage asked in UPSC CSAT 2017, right? So this is a good question. In a city, 12% of the household earn less than 30,000 per year, right? So draw a line, right? So now this is 0 and this is the 30,000, right? So it's saying 12% of the household earn less than. So this side will be, from this to this will be 12%. This is given, right? 6% household earn more than 2 lakhs per year, right? So suppose here we have 2 lakhs, right? So what is given? How many household are earning more than 2 lakhs? This is 6%, right? 22% household earn more than 1 lakh per year. Now here will be 1 lakh, right? So what is given? The percentage of people who are earning more than 1 lakh is given. So this will be how much? This is given. This is the maximum salary, right? And it could be anything, right? So we don't have to think about that, but we just should remember that what is given? The people who are earning, the household who are earning more than 1 lakh. It could be any amount, 2 lakh, 3 lakh, 4 lakh, 10 lakhs, anything. But we know the percentage. The percentage is 22%, right? And 990 household earn between this. This amount is given. This is given how much? 990. All this is in percentage. This is a number, right? So 990 household earn between 30,000 and 1 lakh per year. How many household earn between? So we have to find out this one. This figure we have to find out. The household earning between 1 lakh and 2 lakh per year. Right. So total will be 100%. Okay. And this is given 12% and this is 22%. So what will be this amount? This one. This amount. If I want to find out the in percentage, the people earning between 30,000 and 1 lakh. They have given 990, but in the percentage, what it will be? From here to here, it will be 100 or not? Total is 100%. This is given 22%, right? And this is given 12%. This is 12%. This is 22%. So if we add these and minus from 100, so 100% minus 12% plus 22%. So this will be this figure or not? I hope you all get it, right? So it will be 100% minus 34%. So it will be 66%. So this one will be 66%, right? And this is the total. So total household. So the 66% of total household is given 990, right? Because we know this is 66% and they have given this is 990 household. So the 66% of total household will be equal to 990. So from here we can get the total household. So the total household will be 990 200 upon 66, right? So from 11 we can cancel this. Then again from 3 we can cancel this. Now 2 can cancel this one, 50. So it will come out total household is 1500, right? So total household is 1500. Now we have to find out this one, right? The household earning between 1 lakh and 2 lakh, right? This one we have to find out. So we know, like for the household above 1 lakhs are 22% and above 2 lakhs are 6%. So this much, this will be how much? This will be 22% minus 6% or not? Are you following me or not? So in the percentage term, the household between 1 lakh and 2 lakhs will be 22%. So we have to just calculate the 20% of total household. That will be our answer. So total household is 1500. And what will be the 22% of that? Oh, not 22. Sorry, it will be 22 minus 6. 22 minus 6% is equal to 16%. So if we calculate the 16% of 1500, so that will be our answer, right? So this 0 will cancel this 0, right? So it will come out 240. So the answer will be 240, means option B, right? So I hope you all get it. So see, I'm again explaining you. We know in percentage terms that 12% are earning less than 30,000, right? And we also know that 22% household are earning more than 1 lakhs. So from here we can calculate that there are 66% household which are earning between 30,000 and 1 lakh, right? So now we will calculate the total household, right? So it will come out 1500. Now we also know that the people earning between 1 lakh and 2 lakh will be 22% minus 6%. So that will come out 16%, right? So now we have to calculate just the 16% of 1500, right? So it will come out 240. If you still having problem in this, you can comment us or call us and we will solve your all queries, right? This is the question of percentage asked in UPSC CSAT 2017. This is a good questions, and nowadays UPSC ask these kind of questions because here it's hard to find the direct answer through given data, right? So here we have to guess. So the question is P is equal to 40% of A plus 65% of B, and Q is given 50% of A plus 50% of B, where A is greater than B. They have given like A is greater than B. We know only this, and we have two equations. So we have to find out which of the following statement is correct. So P is greater than Q, Q is greater than P is equal to Q, right? So now we have to tell the relationship between P and Q, right? We know only that A is greater than B, right? So it's hard to answer these questions directly. So here we will use the trial and error method, right? See, from this we know here in P we are using 40% of A, and in Q we are using 50% of A. So we know like in these sections, like this will be greater, but the second part 65% of B, this one, right? Here 65% of B and here 50%. If this would have been greater than this, then we have concluded about Q, but now we can't conclude about Q directly. So in this method, in these questions, we will consider value of A and B, right? So what value generally we consider? So as we already told, like in the case of percentage, we will use the values like 100 or multiple of 100. So because we know A is greater than B, so let's suppose we are taking B 100. So what value we should take about A? See, we have to check the extremes. We have to check the extremes means like we know we have considered the value of B as 100. So let's take the A's value like 110 in first case and keep B value same and take the value of A 200. So here difference is less, here difference is large. So through it, we will see what's the value of P and Q we are getting, right? So what the P value we will get from this? So P will be 40% of A. The 40% of this will be 44 plus 65% of B. So this will be 65. So the total will be 109. And what will be the value of Q? Q will be 50% of A. So this will be 55, right? And 50% of B. B is 100. So 50% of B will be 50. So what value we are getting? 105. So in this case, P is greater than Q. In our first case, what we received? P is greater than Q. Right, so P is equal to Q. This is we can cancel this one. And Q is greater than P, we can also cancel this, right? Now let's assume this second case where we are taking A value is 200 and B value is 100. So what will be the P here? P will be 40% of 200, right? Plus 65% of B. So it will be 80 plus 65 is equal to 145. And what will be the value of Q here from this? 50% of A. 50% of A will be 100 and 50% of B. B value is 100. So what will be the 50% of B? It will be 50. So Q is 150. So here we are getting Q greater than P because P is 145 and Q is 150. Right. So this is also we can cancel. So none of the above can be concluded with certainty. So this is our answer, because in the one case we are getting P is greater than Q. In the other case we are getting Q is greater than P. Okay. So this is a good question, and UPSC normally nowadays asking this type of question. So you should be smart enough, right? Fine. If you still having any problem, you can comment and you can ask us, right? This is the percentage question asked in UPSC CSAT 2018, right? So the question is, a student has to get 40% marks to pass in an examination. So if a student is there, so how much marks he has to get to pass? He has to get 40% marks, right? So out of total marks, how much marks he has to get? 40%. So if he want to get pass, he have to get 40% marks. I hope you get this equation, right? Suppose he gets 30 marks. Now that student got how much marks he got? 30%, right? And fails by 30 marks. But वो fail हो जाता है, he is getting 30 marks less than from the passing marks, right? So he got this marks. If we add 30 marks, so he will get pass or not? Tell me this. He will pass the exam, right? So this pass and this pass will be equal or not? So what will be the equation? 40 upon 100. So this is total marks is equal to 30 plus 30. Because this is also passing marks, this is also passing marks. So this equation will be equal. So 30 plus 30 is equal to 60. Now this 0 will cancel this 0. From 2 we can divide this 4 and this 10, right? So the equation will be 2 by 5 total marks is equal to 60, right? This 5 will come this side and will get multiplied, the 2 will come, the 2 will divide this, right? So the equation will become 60 into 5 by 2. From 2 we can cancel this 30. So the total marks will be 150. So this is our answer. This is very easy question, right? So the option C is the correct answer, right? So this was easy question. I hope ये सबको समझ आया होगा. अगर समझ नहीं आया कमेंट करिए and we will discuss it, right? So this is the percentage question asked in UPSC CSAT examination 2019. In an examination, A has scored 20 marks more than B. So how much is the marks of A? A marks is B के marks से 20 marks ज़्यादा है, right? So A is equal to B plus 20. B has scored, what is the score of B? B's score is 5% less marks than A. So we can write B's marks is 95% of A. Now some student may get confused like why we are writing 95%. Okay, so you can assume it like this, like the marks of A is this much, A, and B is getting 5% less. So it will be like this. When you will solve this, it will come out 95 A upon 100, right? So directly we can write, because we know 100% of A is equal to 100, right? 100% of A is equal to A, sorry, है ना? So whenever we talk about some increment, suppose they are talking about 5% increment, so it will become 1 upon 5%, right? And if they talk about 5% decrease, so we will write 95% of A, right? So in this way. So these are the basics. I teach them in the basic class, right? So here it will become like this. Okay, I hope you got it. Now put the value of B here. So it will become A is equal to 95 by 100 A plus 20. Now this A will go this side. So it will be A minus 95 A upon 100 is equal to 20. When you will solve this, it will become 100A minus 95A is equal to 100 is equal to 20. Right, so it will come 5A upon 100 is equal to 20. From this 5, you can divide this. So it will be 20. So this 20 will go this side. So A will be 20 into 20. So it will be 400. Now what he is asking, how much B has scored? We have to calculate the value of the marks of B. So B value is, we have to put in this equation. We got 400 is equal to B plus 20. So B is equal to 400 minus 20. It will come out 380. So how much B scored? B scored 380 marks, right? So the answer is option B. I think सबको समझ आ गया होगा. If you still have some problem, you can comment and I will solve your all queries personally. Okay. This is a percentage question asked in UPSC Civil Services exam 2019. CSAT 2019 exam, right? So in a school, 60% student play cricket, right? This is a school, people are playing cricket, right? How much? 60%. Okay. A student who does not play cricket plays football, right? So how many percentage are not playing cricket? 40%. So they will play football, right? But there may be some player who are playing cricket, they are also playing football, but it is not given, right? Every football player has got a two-wheeler. So these football players have two-wheeler. Every football player, they have written every. You have to focus on the keyword. This every, only, okay. Which of the following conclusion cannot? We have to, this is also important. We have to answer which conclusion, which are false from here, right? So we have to answer only those conclusions which are wrong, okay. So the first conclusion is 60% of the student do not have two-wheeler. So he's saying 60% of the student do not have two-wheeler. In the question they have mentioned that who plays football, they have two-wheeler, but it is not mentioned about C. The student who are playing cricket, they are having two-wheeler or not, it is not given, okay. So we cannot comment, so this is wrong. No cricketer has a two-wheeler, right? So this is also not given, like first one. We know about the football one, but we don't have information about the players who are playing cricket. So he's saying no, no one, not a single one. So we cannot comment on this. Cricket players do not play football. So the people may have confusion about this one, okay? Because here they are given like the student who are not playing cricket are playing football. But there is one possibility that there may be people who are playing both. They are playing cricket also and the football also, right? So it is not clearly mentioned here. So this will also be wrong. So all three conclusions are false. So what will be the answer? The answer will be D, because we have to mention the wrong conclusion, right? So this is our answer. So this is the question of percentage, right? This is a question asked in UPSC CSAT 2019 exam, right? So what is the question? Rakesh had money to buy 8 mobile handset of a specific company, right? So Rakesh is having money that he can buy 8 mobiles, right? But the retailer offered very good discount on that particular handset. But the shopkeeper, what he did? He gave the discount. So the Rakesh could buy 10 mobile handset. So what happened? When the shopkeeper gave him discount, so he was able to buy how much? With the same money, 10 mobile, with the amount he had. What was the discount? So we have to find out how much discount is offered to Rakesh by the shopkeeper, right? So suppose Rakesh is having, the total money of Rakesh is, how much? It is equal to, how many mobiles he is buying from this one? This money, 8 mobile, and the price of handset, suppose mobile price is P, right? So this is the total money the Rakesh is having, 8P. Okay. Now this is equivalent to, the total money of Rakesh is equivalent to, when he visited the shop, he bought 10 mobile, right? And what was the price he offered? So previously the price was P, but he got a discount. Suppose, let's assume he got X% discount, right? So here it will become X% of P. So you have to understand that both of these things, 8P and this, will be equal, because both these amounts are equal to the money Rakesh is having. Previously he was able to buy 8 mobiles from this money, and now from this money he is able to buy 10 mobile. First is this. Now this P minus X upon 100, this is the discount. How we are calculating? Suppose the initial, previously the price was 100 rupees, right? Now we got some discount. So how we was calculating the discount? Suppose he got a discount of 10%, right? I'm giving an example, like 10% of 100. So it will be 10 rupees. So the final price will be 90, right? So the same thing we are doing here, this thing. Okay. So now we have to solve this equation and we will get our answer. So it will be 8P is equal to 10. From this equation, we can take P common. So it will become 1 minus X upon 100, right? This P will cancel this P. This 10 will come this side, right? So it will become 8 by 10, right? Then we can cancel it from 2, right? Now we will take 1 this side. So the equation will become X upon 100 is equal to 1 minus 4 by 5. So this will be equal to 5 minus 4 by 5, equal to 1 by 5. Now X is equal to 100 by 5. So this will cancel this, 20. It will be, so X will be 20. So this is the 20% discount offered to Rakesh, right? So the answer of this question is B. Okay. So I hope ये सबको समझ आ गया होगा. अगर किसी को समझ नहीं आया है, so please send us a message through comment and we will get connected and I will explain you this question personally, okay, in a one-to-one session. This is a percentage question asked in UPSC Civil Services CSAT exam 2019, right? All the members of a club went to Mumbai and stayed in a hotel. On the first day, 80% went for shopping, 50% went for sightseeing, and whereas 10% took rest in the hotel. Which of the following conclusion can be drawn from the above data? So this type of question, it's easy to do with Venn diagram, right? Because there are only 2 activities. So we will make like this. Okay, and you must be knowing like this whole box inside everything, it will be 100%. We are not converting the percentage into numbers because we can solve it in percentage only, right? So no need to convert it. If you want, you can do it. You can consider any value, like suppose 100, and you can compute on the basis of that 100, but there is no need, right? So let's assume this is A, this is B, this is C, and this is D. This one is for shopping, and this circle is for sightseeing, right? This is for sightseeing. So now they have given for shopping how many? 80%. So A plus B will be 80%, right? Now 50%, see in the question, 50% went for sightseeing. So sightseeing is this one, this circle. In this circle we have B and C. So B plus C will be equal to 50%. And now see in the question, 10% took rest in the hotel. Now there are 10% people who are not going for sightseeing and not going for shopping. So that will be D. So here it will be 10%. So D is how much? 10%. Okay. So we have to calculate the value of A, B, C. D we already know, right? And we know this total will be 100. So we know like A plus B plus C plus D will be equal to 100%. Right, A plus B we know how much? A plus B is 80. C, D we know 10 is equal to 100. So from here we can know all this is in percentage. Don't forget to write percentage here, right? So C will be is equal to 100% minus 90%. So it will be 10%. Okay. So in percentage we can do addition and deletion, right? So don't worry about it. Okay, so C will be is equal to 10. If we will put the value of C here, we will get B. So B will be 50%. So what will be the value of B here? B will be 40%. If B is 40, if we will put the value of B here, so what will be the value of A? A plus 40% is equal to 80. So A is equal to 40%. So we know this is 40%, this is 40, and this is 10%. Right? Now we computed all values. Now we can solve it. 40% member went for shopping as well as sightseeing. So we have to find out the people who are going for both. They are going for shopping also and sightseeing. So this area, in this area, we have to find, because these are the people who are going for both. They are going for sightseeing also and they are going for shopping also. So value of B we have to find out. So the value of B here, you can see it's 40%. So this conclusion is right. Now the second conclusion, 20% member went for only shopping. Only shopping kaun sa hai? This A section, right? This A section is for shopping. They are going only for shopping. You have to focus on this keyword only here, right? But it is given in 20, so this is wrong. So only option A is right. Right? So I hope ये सबको समझ आ गया होगा. And if you still have any problem, you can comment and you can connect with us. Okay. So this is a percentage section we are doing, and this question is from UPSC Civil Services CSAT exam 2019. Right. So Raju has rupees 9,000 with him and he wants to buy a mobile handset. तो राजू के पास कितने रुपए हैं अभी? 9,000, right? And he wants to buy a mobile handset, but he finds that he has only 75% of the amount required to buy the handset. So if the handset, let's assume the price of handset is X, right? X rupees. So how much the Raju is having? Raju is having only 75% of that. Okay. So the 75% of X will be equal to how much Raju is having? 9,000. So these both will be equal or not? Because one side he is saying Raju is having 9,000 rupees, and on the other side he is saying, the question is saying that he is having 75% of the handset price, the mobile handset price, right? So we will cancel this, right, from 25. So from here we can calculate the value of x, right? 3 will come here. So from 3 this will go. So it will be 3000. So the value of x will be 12,000. So mobile handset, what's the price of mobile handset? 12,000, right? Therefore, he borrows rupees 2,000 from a friend. Now what Raju is doing? Raju is having 9,000, right? And he borrowed 2,000 from his friend. So now the total money with Raju will be 11,000. And what's the price of mobile? The price of new handset is 12,000. Now we will read the option. Raju still does not have enough amount to buy the handset. This is right. The second option is Raju has exactly the same amount as required. This is wrong. Okay. Raju has enough amount. Raju is not having enough amount. So this is also wrong. Raju has enough amount to buy the handset and he will have rupees 1,000 with him after buying the handset. This is also wrong. So what is the correct answer? Answer A. Option A is the correct answer. Okay. I hope you सबको समझ आ गया. So this is a question of percentage. This question is asked in UPSC CSAT 2020, right? So the question is, as a result of a 25% hike in the price of rice per kg, right? So what happened? The price of rice got increased by 25%. A person is able to purchase 6 kg less. So the person is able to buy 6 kg less rice for 1200. What was the original price? So the question is asking about original price of the rice per kg. See, these questions can be solved in many ways, right? But we need to understand the basic concept first, right? So you can solve this question through options also, right? We can solve it through options also. We will discuss about this later, right? But first of all, we have to understand the basic concept. Like if you know the basic concepts, you can solve any questions, right? But if you know some tricks or some formula, then you would be able to solve only that particular question, not all questions. Okay. So trick is not applicable for all questions. So we will solve it step by step. So suppose the price is P and the price is P of rice. Okay. And he is able to purchase, how much rice he is able to purchase? The consumption, or he is able to purchase C rice. In how much amount? 1200. See, this CSAT paper or this aptitude paper is nothing but you have to convert the language into mathematical equation. If you are able to do that, you will be able to solve it. So this is a language is written and we have to convert it into mathematical equation. That's the only thing we have to do. So P into C is equal to 1200. I hope you got it, because the original price is P and the consumption is, or he is able to buy some C amount of rice. In how much money he is able to buy that? 1200. But now what is happening? The price of rice got increased by 25%. So we already discussed that 100% of something is that same thing. Okay. If we want to take 100% of X, it will be X only. If I am saying that there is an increase of 25% in X, so what will be the value of X? Then we can write X plus X into 2500, right? So we will take common X. It will be 1 plus 25 by 100. So it will become 125 by 100, right? I think you can solve it. The 100 will come this side. Okay. We will take the LCM as 100 and then 100 plus 25, 125 upon 100, right? If there is an increase of 25%, then it becomes 125 upon 100. Or we can directly say, because 100% of X is X, so 120, if there is 25 increase, then it will directly become 125. So you have to just add in 100. If the question talk about like there is a decrease, suppose there is decrease of 25%, then we will deduct 100 minus 25, the 75%. So we will directly take 75% of X. So this is a trick you can solve, right? So here he's saying that the price of rice got increased by 25. So now we have to take the price of P as, I told you, like if there is an increase, so we can directly write 125 upon 100, because the price of rice got increased. And what happened with the consumption or the amount they are able to buy? They are buying 6 kg less. In how much amount? In 1200 only. Right. So we will solve it. So it will become this will go this side, right? So and the P will go inside. So it will become PC minus 6. P is equal to 1200 into 100 upon 125. We know PC is equal to P into C is equal to 1200 here. So we will put that value here. So it will be 1200 minus 6P is equal to 1200 into 100 upon 125. Okay, now we will take 6P this side and we will bring this value this side. So it will become 1200 minus 1200 into 100 upon 125 is equal to 6P. See, you can solve it very easily, but I am telling you all the steps so that every person can get it. Okay. So we can take 1200 common, then it will become 1 minus 100 upon 125 is equal to 6P. Right. Then it will become 1200 into 125 will go this side, the LCM will be 125. 125 minus 100, 25 upon 125 is equal to 6P. So you can cancel 1 to 125. Here it will be 5. You can cancel 1200 by 5. Then it will be 240. Right. So it will be the P value will be 240 upon 5. Right. Sorry, 240 upon 6 because 6P. It's 6P. So 6 will come. So we will divide 240 by 6. So it will become 40. So what is this 40? What was the P? P was the original price. So 40 is the original price. So what he is asking? He is asking only the original price. So the original price is 40. So this is our answer. If you can understand this thing, you can solve all questions. In this question, he is asking about only the original price. Right? He may ask about the consumption. Right? He may ask initial consumption and the later consumption. Right? The original price and the price after 25% hike. So he can ask anything in this. Okay. But if you understand this concept here, you will be able to solve any question on this. I hope you got this. And if still you face any problem, you can comment and you can connect with us. Okay. This is the percentage question asked in UPSC Csat 2020. Right. So the question is, a shop owner offer the following discount option on an article to a customer. What's the first thing? The successive discount. So this is a question from successive discount, right? Successive discount of 10%, 20 and then pay a service tax of 10%. So initially what the shopkeeper is doing, he is giving 10% discount and after that 20% and later he is charging 10% service tax. And the second option is initially 20% discount, then 10% discount and charging service tax 10%. Or the third option he is giving to a customer is, first he will take a service tax on the original price and then we'll give the discount of 20% and 10%. Right. So see, this is the difference. It's a very easy question. You can solve this question without even touching your pen. Right. But for that, you need to have a basic clarity on your concepts. This is the basic difference between the UPSC and the other exams like SSC, bank, right, etc. Here they will give in SSC or bank, they will give questions so that you solve them. You have calculation in them. But the UPSC will ask question about basic concept. So the UPSC is checking your understanding, your grasp of knowledge, your grasp of concept. Right. So you should be very thorough with your concepts. So you don't have to focus on your calculation in UPSC. Right. So here you won't find questions where you have to solve lengthy equations. So what they are doing, let's talk about these questions. So the answer of this question, I can directly say the answer of this question will be D. All options are equally good for the customer. Right. But I will tell you how this is happening. Suppose the price of a article is 100. First I am giving you some brief idea. Right. So I am assuming the price of some product is 100 and we are checking option A. Right. So he is giving discount of 10%. Right. So the price will become 90 rupee. And then he is giving the discount of 20% on 90. right? So it will be like 90 into 80 upon 100, right? So the price will be 72 rupees. Now he is charging 10% tax on this, right? So it will be this much, right? If we will solve it, it will come 0 will cancel this 0, right? And it will be right. So this much. In the second option, he is giving first the discount of 20%. The initial price is 100, so the discount is 20%, though, so the price will become 80, and then 10% discount on this, right? So it will become 80 minus 8, 72, and then the same service tax. So both these equations are same, right? So these both are same. Third options. What's the third option? The third option is, first of all, he is charging 10% service tax. So 100 rupees. So the price will become 110, and then giving a discount of 20. So 20% discount over this. So it will become, we will deduct 22 rupees from this, 88 rupees, right? And now there is one more discount of, so it will be, sorry, it will be 90% because this is discount. So this 0 will cancel this 0, right? If you will solve this, it will be this one. So all three are same. Okay, so the answer will be option D. But in exam, you don't need to solve this. You just need to remember there is one concept in percentage about successive discount. Okay, the same concept we apply in one more question type is there in the population, right? Population. So these are one famous type in the percentage. So you have to remember, like whatever be the sequence, the answer will remain same. Okay, so the answer of this question is option D. If you still have some problem, you can comment and you can get connected with us and we will solve your all queries. So this is a question of percentage asked by UPSC in CSET paper of 2021. In a class, 60% of the students are from India. 50% of the students are girls, right? So as you know that whenever we do the percentage question, it's easy to consider the figure as 100, right? So let's assume, right, that the strength of class is, the total number of student in class is, total student in class is 100, right? So now there are 100 students. Okay, what is given the first statement? 60% of the student are from India. So in this 100 there are from India, right? And these are foreign student. So India से कितने हैं? 60%. 60% of 100 will be 60, right? Now from India, and 50% of the student are girls. So out of this 100, so they have divided this 100 into boys and girls also. Girls are how many? And boys are how many? 50% are girls. 50% girls means 50 are girls. So boys will be also 50%. So these are 50. Okay. Now what is given? If 30% of the Indian student are girls, right? So Indian students are how many? 60. So out of this, there are girls and boys. So girls are how many? 30%. 30% of the Indian students. So total Indian students are 60. So 30% of 60 will be how much? So this will be like this. 30% of 60. Okay. So this will be 18. Right. So 18 लड़कियां हैं क्लास में, तो बॉयज कितने हुए? बॉयज विल बी 60 minus 18. So this will be how much? This will be 42. Right. So 42 are boys and 18 are girls. Right. अगर यहाँ पे 60 इंडियन है तो फॉरेनर कितने हो गए 40, राइट. Okay, then what percentage of the foreign student are boys? So we have to find that how many percentage of foreign boys are there, right, out of total foreign student. So there are 40 foreign student, and out of this 40 there will be girls and boys, right. So how many foreign girls will be there? See, 18 girls are here, total girls are 50, right. So total girls they have given are 50, Indian girls are 18, then foreign girls will be how much? This will be minus, right. So this will be 32. So foreign girls are 32. If foreign girls are 32, then foreign boys will be how many? 40 minus 32. This will be 8. Right. But now we have to find the percentage. Right. So percentage of foreign boy will be how many? They are 8. Right. So percentage of foreign student we have to find. We have हमें वो फाइंड आउट नहीं करना है कि टोटल में से कितने हैं, राइट. फॉरेन बॉयज वी हैव टू फाइंड आउट कि जो फॉरेन बॉयज हैं वो फॉरेन स्टूडेंट में कितने परसेंट है, राइट. सो दिस विल बी 8/40. दिस इज इंपॉर्टेंट. 40 यहाँ पे 100 नहीं आएगा, राइट, into 100. So this will be the percentage. Okay, so we will cut this. 8 5s are 40, and from 5 this will cut, this will be 20. So this will be 20%. So the answer will be option D. Right. So the answer of this question will be option D. I hope you आप सबको समझ आ गया होगा. If you guys still have some issues in that, so you can connect with us and I will explain you this question personally again. Now this is the next question from percentage. This is asked in UPSC 2021 CSAT paper, right? So a student appeared in 6 paper. Don't get confused. You can consider it also like subject, right? So he's giving or he's appearing in exam of 6 subject, as we normally do in the 10th, 12th or in graduation, right? So here are 6 subjects. So the maximum marks are the same. So the maximum are same, right? Maximum are same means the maximum, like out of 100, as in our colleges, out of 100 how much marks the student are getting. So the 100 is common for all. It's not different for the different subject, right? His marks in these paper are in the proportion. So now they have given in the proportion. The marks are given in proportion. So if you remember the ratio and proportion, we write it like this, right? So how many subjects are there? 6. And he is getting marks in the proportion of 5:6:7:8:9:10. If you remember, if we want to remove this proportion sign, what we do? We consider some value x, right? You can consider any value, and we divide that x with all. So it will become 5x, 6x, 7x, because the mark will be in the multiple of x, because they are in proportion. So the marks will become, in P1 paper the marks will be 5x, P2 6x, P3 7x, right? So total there are 6 paper. Suppose for each paper we are now assuming, as I already told you, when we are solving the questions in percentage, what we assume? Let the maximum marks in each paper is 100. Why we are considering 100? Because in the percentage the calculation will be easy if we consider value as a multiple of 100. You can consider any value, 200, 300. So total subjects are 6 and each subjects have 100 marks. So the total marks will be 600, right? I hope यहाँ तक समझ आ गया होगा. Okay. So in the proportion, overall he scored. What is the score of a student? He is scoring 60%. Okay. So 600 ka 60%. What is the 60% of 600? It will be 360. Right. So the student scored 360. Okay. And we know in each paper how much mark he scored. He scored this much marks. So 360 will be, if we add these marks, if we add the marks of his all paper, then it will be equal to 360 or not? You tell me that, right? It will be equal. because we know that he got 60% marks. So we calculated it, that is 360. And we also know that in each paper how much marks he is getting. So what we can do, we can add these marks also, right, plus 10x. So 360 will be equal to 45x, right? So now 45 will come this side, right? So we can divide it. From 15 we can divide. So the x value is, what is the value of x? 8. Now we can put this x value here. So what will be the marks in paper 1? It will be 40. And paper 2, right? And here in paper 3, paper 4, paper 5 and paper 6. So how much marks he is getting? He is getting 40 marks in paper 1, 48 marks in paper 2, right? 56 marks in paper 3, in paper 4 64 marks, and in paper 5 72. Now what he is asking, in how many number of paper, in how many number of subjects of paper he scored less than 60%. So we have to find out in which paper he is getting less than 60% marks. So what is the maximum marks for each paper? We assumed here, what is the maximum mark? 100. So what is the 60% of it? Its 60% will be 60 only, right? So the question is asking, in how many papers he is scoring less than 60 marks. So in paper 1 he is scoring less than 60 marks, in paper 2 also, and in paper 3 also. Paper 4 mein he is scoring more than 60, here also he is scoring more than 60, and here also. But we have to find out in which paper he is scoring less than 60. So in paper 1st, 2nd and 3rd is scoring less than 60. So we have to tell in how many paper? 3 paper. So what is the answer? B3. So its answer will be option B, right? So I hope ये आपको सबको समझ में आया होगा. If you are having any problem in understanding this question, you can comment and you can get connected with me and I will explain you in detail. So now this is again a question from percentage asked in UPSC 2021 CSAT exam, right? So what is the question? The P scored 40 marks more than Q. So P scored 40 marks more than Q, right, in an examination. If Q scored 10% less marks than P, so how much Q scored? Q is scoring 10% less marks from P, right? So this equation will be like this. Or see, we can also say like Q is scoring, because he is writing 10% less marks, right, than P. Or we can say he is scoring 90% marks of P, right? So both things are same actually. So this is just a way of writing. So if you will convert into mathematical equation, you can also write P, the 90% of P is equal to Q. So both are same thing. Okay. So now how we will solve it? We will put the value of P here, right? So it will be Q is equal to Q plus 40. This 0 will cancel this 0. So it will be 9 by 10. Now the 10 will go this side, right? So it will become 10Q is equal to, we will multiply. So 9Q plus 360. So this 9Q will come this side and it will get deducted, right? So it will become 10Q minus 9Q is equal to 360. So Q is 360. So what he is asking? He is asking how much Q score. So this is Q is scoring 360. So the answer will be A, right? If we ask how much P is scoring, so P is scoring 360 plus 40, the first equation, right? So it will become 400. It's a very easy question. I hope you all will get it. If you are having any problem in this, you can comment on this video and we can get connected and I will explain you again, right? This is the question of percentage asked in UPSC 2021. So what's the question? If the price of an article is decreased by 20% and then the new price is increased by 25%, then what is the net change? So he is asking the net change. So the question is, suppose there is an item, there are apples, right? So initially its price got decreased. Its price got decreased by 20%. And later the price of apple increased by 25%. So what is the final price, right? So he is asking that जो final price है and जो original price था, so that will be net change. So this will be net change. Final price minus original price, right? So this will be net change. So he's asking the net change only. So how we will calculate it? If you remember, I told you, like when we are solving the questions in percentage, so normally we consider what? We consider 100 items, right? So here we will consider that let the initial price of apple is 100. If you remember, in other questions we consider price X, right, or Y or Z, something like that. But in the question of percentage we normally consider price like 100 or 100x. Why in the multiple of 100? Because there is percentage. So if we will do the percentage, if we want to calculate the percentage like 20%, so the 100 will cancel this 100. So the calculation is easy. That's why we consider 100 or in a multiple of 100. So here I am assuming that the initial price of an article is 100 rupees, right? Now the price got decreased by 20%. So I told you how we will calculate. Like suppose we consider the price initially 100 minus, because the price got reduced, how much price got reduced? 20. Percentage sign will convert into 1 upon 100, and 20% of what? Initial price 100, right? This 100 the initial price, what we consider, this is also the initial price because the price got reduced by 20%. Okay, if you are having any problem, you can consider, if you are going to buy a pen from a shopkeeper, he will tell you that the price is 10 rupees or 100 rupees, but he will give you the discount of 20%. So what will be the final price? The final price will be 80 rupees, right? So similarly here we are doing. So what will be the price? 80. Or we can directly do it by saying like 100 is the initial price and the decrease of 20%. So normally when we talk about 20% decrease, we will write 80 upon 100 directly. Because किसी भी item का, suppose there is an item X, and if we are counting the 100% of it, so what will be? It answer will be X only, right? And if there is an increase of 20%, then it will be X into 120. Like 100% plus 20%. 100% will remain same, right? Then 20%. So we can directly write it like this. And if we are talking about decreasing, then we can directly write X into, if there is a decrease of 20%, 80%. So here we are doing directly. So the price is 80 rupees. Now this 80 rupees price, later what happened? There is an increase of 25%. So what we can directly write? 125 upon 100. Right? So we can cancel this. So what's the final price? 100 rupees. So 100 is the final price and initial price was also 100. So what is the net change? Net change is final price minus original price. Both are 100. So net change is 0. So what will be the answer? Answer is 0. Okay. So the answer is 0%. He is asking in percentage. So how the percentage will come? The percentage will come because the formula of net change is net change formula is final price minus original price upon original price into 100. Right. So this is the formula of net change. Okay, we have to remember this. So because this is 0, 0 upon 100 into 100. So this answer will be in percentage. Right. So its answer is A. ये समझ में आ गया होगा, I hope. Right. Now this is a question asked in UPSC 2022. The question is the increase in the price of a certain item was 25%. Right. Then the price was decreased. Initially the price got increased and then decreased by 20%. And then again increased by 10%. So what is the resultant increase in the price? So here, first of all, it seems like this question is not from percentage. Many students think that this question is not from percentage chapter. It is from cost and price, right? So they both, like in cost and price also we find percentage change, and in the percentage chapter also we find the change in percentage. So these two overlap, but here I will say this question is from percentage because here they are not concerned about like what was the market price and the selling price, etc. Right? So here the question is saying that suppose there was some item, right? And one more thing I want to tell you, like in the percentage questions normally we assume that let the price of initial price, let the initial price of item is 100. Why we are take 100? Normally in other scenario we consider X and right, but here in percentage we consider 100x or 100 or 1000, so that the number don't come in fraction, because we know when we are talking about 25%, so it will be 25 upon 100. So the calculation will be easy. That's why we consider 100x or 100. So here we are considering 100 only. Okay. So initially the price got increased by 25%. So in the unitary method, we can write like initially it was 100 and then it got increased by 25%. Right. So it will be like this. Okay. Or we can directly say the 100%. In percentage, there is one more concept. The 100% of some number, suppose X, is X. Right. So we are talking about 100% of some item. So it will be that item only. So the here the question is saying that if there is an increase of 25%, so we can also write 125%. Why? Because it will be like 100% plus 25%. Okay, and 100% is the item itself and 25% is extra 25%. So here in this question, what we can directly say, like we have assumed the price 100. So the price got increased by 25%. So we can directly write 125 upon 100. Right. And then the price was decreased by 20%. So in percentage, if the price is getting reduced by 20%, so as we discuss here, the 20% decrease can be written as 100% minus 20%. Right. So that this will be 80%. So here we are writing directly 80%. Okay. And then the price got increased by 10%. So as we discuss here, we will write 110. Right. So this will be the final price. So now we will solve it and we will see like what is the final price of product. Okay. So from here, so the final price of the product is 110. And what was the initial price? Initial price was 100. We assume 100, right? So what will be the resultant change? It's directly, otherwise you can use the method of like what's the current price minus initial price upon initial price into 100. So it will come out 10%. Right. So what will be the answer? The answer will be the option B, 10%. So the final resultant increase, there is an increase because we got the price got increased. The initial price was 100, but the final price is 110. So it got increased, and by how much percentage? 10%. So this is the right answer. Okay, I hope ये आपको सबको समझ में आया होगा, right? So this is a question of percentage asked by UPSC and CSET paper of 2022. Two candidates X and Y contested an election. 80% of the voters cast their vote and there was no invalid votes, right? So there are, suppose 100% voters are there, right? Total voters are 100%, right? So out of it, 80% are only voting, right? So how many population are voting? Not population, out of 80% total people voted and 20% didn't vote, right? So they have not voted, right? Now, out of these 80%, there is no invalid vote, right? One more condition is given that there is no invalid votes and there was no nota. And out of these 80%, there is no one has chosen the nota option, right? So they have voted either for X or Y, right? ऐसा कोई नहीं है जिसने इन दोनों में से किसी थर्ड पर्सन के लिए वोट किया हो, थर्ड पर्सन भी नहीं है और ऐसा भी नहीं है कि किसी ने नोटा को प्रेस किया हो। नोटा का मतलब होता है कि ना हम एक्स को पसंद कर रहे हैं ना हम वाई को, सो नोटा का ऑप्शन यूज करते हैं, पर ऐसा भी कोई नहीं है, राइट? नाउ एक्स गॉट 50% ऑफ द वोट्स कास्ट। सो एक्स को कितने मिल रहे हैं? अब आउट ऑफ दीज 80%, राइट, 56% ऑफ टोटल वोट कास्ट, राइट? सो दिस 50% ऑफ, now this is assuming this one is 100, right? क्योंकि how many votes are casted? This 80%, right? So this is a 56% of vote cast, right? So the other person will get how many? It will get 44%. 100 minus 56%, right? Now what is given? X. So X is getting 56% of the vote cast and won by 1440 votes, right? So he is winning by 1440 votes से वो जीत रहा है, right? So what is the difference here? The difference here is we will minus it, like 56 minus 44. So this will be 12, right? So they have given that 12%, जो X है वो 12% वोट से जीत रहा है, right? जितने भी वोट कास्ट हुए हैं, ठीक है, उसका जो 12% है उससे वो जीत रहा है, and what is given that 12% of total vote casted, right, is equal to, they have given like 1440, right? So this will be 12% of total vote casted, right? So this will go this side, we will can write it like this, right? And this will be 1440. Okay, so this 12 will cut this one, right? One time, then 2, and then 0. So total vote casted is 12,000, right? So total vote casted are how many? 80%. So this is 80% of total votes available. टोटल वोट्स अवेलेबल की 80% लोगों ने ही क्योंकि वोट किया था, राइट? सो दिस 12,000 इज इक्वल टू टोटल 80% of total vote available, right? So total vote available will be how much? It will be 12,000 into 100 upon 80, right? So we will cut this with 2, this will be 5, and this will be 4, and 4 will cut this one, right? Then total votes available will be 5 into 3, 15,000, right? So what the question is asking? The question is asking what is the total number of voters in the voter list. So total voters in the voter list are 15,000, and how many are voted? 12,000, right? So the answer of this question will be option A, right? So what is the answer? Answer is option A. See, we can do this through other method also, right? Let me tell you that also. I am removing this. Now let's assume that total number of votes are 1000, right? See, in percentage question we normally take 100, 1000 in a multiple of 100, right? Because the calculation is easy. Okay, because here 2 times we have to take percentage, that's why I am taking 1000. Now they have given that out of this 1000, how many people are voting? They are going for, how many people cast their vote? 80%, right? And 20% are not voting. So 80% of 1000 will be 800, right? So these people casted their vote. Now out of these 800, there is no nota. So no votes is getting cancelled, right? Because they have given, there was no invalid vote and there was no nota, right? So the vote is going either to X or Y, right? So how much the X is getting? X is getting 56%. 56% of 800. So it will be 56% of 800, right? So this will be how much? This will be 448, right? And the other person Y will get how much? The Y will get 44% because 56% X is getting. So the remaining vote Y will get. So the remaining vote are 44%. 44% of 800 will get, Y will get, right? So this will be 44% of 800. So this will be how much? This will be 352, right? Now, what is the difference here? The difference here is of 96 vote, right? But in the question, this is given that he is winning by 1440 वोट से जीत रहा है, right? So the 96 unit of votes are equal to how much? 1440. So 1 unit of vote will be equal to, is a unitary method I am using, right? This will be 1440 upon 96, right? So this will come out 15 votes, right? So 1 unit of vote we consider is equal to 15 votes. So we consider how much votes? We consider initially 1000 votes. But we know that 1 vote is equal to 15 votes, right? So total will be 15,000. So the answer is option A. So this is the answer, right? So the answer of this question is option A, right? I hope you सबको समझ आ गया होगा. If you guys still have some issues, so you can connect with us and I will explain you this question personally again. So let's see these questions. This is a questions asked by the UPSC in CSAT exam in 2022, right? And many student was not able to solve it in the exam, and many of the student marked the wrong answer. So today we will see how we can solve it. So in math, what we have to do? We have to write whatever is written, right? We have to convert it. Here in the CSAT paper, the language is given, right? And we have to convert that language into equations, or in a mathematical sense we have to make. Okay, so we have to convert this language into a mathematical equations. So how we will do it? When 70% of a number x, 70% I told you, like what we have to do, 70 by 100 of a number x is added to another number. Another number is what? Y. The sum becomes, the sum of these number becomes 165%. We are removing the percent sign and we are converting into fraction, right? Of the value of y. So it will become 70x plus 100y is equal to 165y. When we will solve this further, it will become 70x is 100y will go this side, right? So it will become 165y minus 100y. So it will become 70x is equal to 65y. Now we will write it as x upon y is equal to 65 upon 70. Now we can divide this number by 5, right? So it will be 13 by 40. Now we will read the other part. When 60% of the number of x, 60% of x is added to another number, what? Z. Then the sum is becoming 165% of the value of Z. Now we will solve this equation, right? So it will become 60x plus 100z is equal to 165z. So it will be 60x. We will move 100z into right hand side and then we will minus it, then it will become 65z. Then x upon z will become 65 upon 60. We can cut them through 5, right? So it will become 13 by 12. Now we know from our learning from ratios, if suppose numbers are giving x, y, z. Here what is giving x, y was? X was 13 and y was 14. And here x is 13 and z is 12. Because these both number x are 13, so we can, y will be what? So y will be here 14, right? So it will become like this. Okay, so now here we can see the largest number is 14, which is y, and the smallest is z, right? So from here we can see like y is greatest and then x and the smallest is z. So this will be our answer. This is option A, right? So option A is our answer.